Good evening and thank you for joining PRTvSpurs, Paxton Road TV, your reaction show. Crystal Palace 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. And before I get my guest on for the analysis, all I want to say to them guys, before you come on, lads, I've got a little bit of a trivia for you. What has all this got in common, right? So I know you're listening. So here we go. I woke up today with this feeling that better things are coming my way. That's the first one. Rain or shine will always be 1 in a million. That's the second one. For the younger generation, I'm at a payphone trying to call home. All of my change I spent on you. And finally, a little bit of Ange Ball in my life, a little bit of Son by my side, a little bit of Maddison is all I need, a little bit of Van der Ven is what I see, a little bit of being on top of the league. That is by Postecoglou, number 5. Sam, good evening. Sean, good evening. Darius, good evening. How are we, guys? And did you put all that together, what I just said?
No, unfortunately not, Sid.
Sean?
No idea where you were going with that.
Sam? Come
I don't know
on.
what you're talking about.
Rain or shine will always be. Who sang that? 5. He's got the number 5 in common because we're 5 points clear at the top.
Oh, Maroon. Okay.
Yeah, Mambo number 5. 5 star.
You forgot. We've got another guest as well. To be fair with you, you know, we have to introduce the legend, the legend that it is.
Right.
Hey.
Judging by the faces, I see everyone's quite happy, but Sam does not look happy. Good evening.
Oh no, I'm just cool. I'm not surprised. I was disappointed with the goal going in because I thought we should have scored 3 goals, even though it was our lowest shots on target. We'll get into that, but it was the control performance. I had at no point was I even phased, even when they got the goal back, which was a bit dubious because they've seen them given. But yeah, 5 points clear.
Good. Pav, sorry I just missed the intro, but welcome. Right, so we was very confident yesterday into the preview show for tonight's game. I don't know if you watched it, Pav and Darius, but have you was in? Was you still as confident, Sam, Sean, as the game progressed? Sean?
Was I as confident? I don't know. I mean, I saw different takes to what was going on in my WhatsApp group. Every time they went down their right hand side up against Emerson Royale, I thought, oh my God, he just was a fish out of water that second half. He just was not. He just cannot play left back.
I thought he'd done all right. I
was going to say he was a lot better than Ben Davies was.
He was.
You've got to look at the game itself. What he did, because he's coming inside, he's got more control. He's got more physicality. What he did do is he won more of the ball. Yeah, he's progressing the ball.
He gave away more of the ball, you mean?
But I would watch Ben Davies' first half. You don't.
Yeah, I think Ben Davies was rushed back and he wasn't fit.
Whether he's fit or not, he wasn't up to the races today. Physicality wise, he's not up to the races. Emerson Royal gives you more physicality. Like I said, I'm not bothered about that because we won the game. But if we want to nitpick, I don't think Emerson Royal was bad today at all. No chance.
Well, we'll discuss players' performances and that as well. Good evening to everyone in the comment section. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you smash that like button on PRTvSpurs and Paxton Road TV. I don't know if I said it or not, but guys, we're 5 points clear. Like we said yesterday, we're top of the league. And Sam, Sean, Richarlison, Maddison, Son, Johnson. So there we go. It all worked for me. Pav, what did you make of the game?
Do you know what? I missed the first half, so I didn't even watch the first half. So I don't know what happened in the first half, but the second half,
didn't miss much.
Those 2 goals. I'm glad I came at the right time, I guess.
Yeah, you did. You didn't miss much. What did you make of second half then?
We looked okay. I've heard that the first half we weren't that great, so I'm going to put it down to that we done better in the second half. It was nice to see Bentancur on that pitch as well. So I'm very, very happy to see him back. But yeah, it was good. Obviously, there was the own goal, and then there was the Son goal, which was nice. And it was nice to see them three, Maddison, Johnson, and then Son, the three of them working together to get that goal, which was nice.
Yeah. Darius?
Yeah, I think it wasn't a great performance in terms of, spectacles and goals and brilliant passages of play. But at the end of the day, Selhurst Park's not an easy place to go to. And we went there. We got 2 goals. In my opinion, should have been a clean sheet. I really think that was handball when I look at it, and the amount of times we got to look at it on the TV. I definitely do think it was handball. But I think these are the performances that you have to look at, and it really shows the progress that the team's made in such a short space of time as well. Because I'll tell you what, Selhurst Park, even if it was, 0-0 at some stages, at 2-1 in the 93rd minute with 5 minutes to go, I was still nervous. You can ask Sam. I was nervous because I know what Spurs are like when it comes to those situations. And to see us handle that situation so calmly, it really does show that we are a different team. And yeah, as Ange said in his interview, just keep going. Why don't we just carry on? So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the performance, and I'm even more happy with the result. 5 points clear. We can watch every other team now. Yeah, I'm happy.
This is it. Right. So let's do the breakdown then, guys. Crystal Palace 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2 at Selhurst Park. An own goal by Ward, and Son scored the second goal, and RU scored for Crystal Palace. Right. Let's start with Sam. 24% possession, 76% to Tottenham Hotspur. Shots on target, 13 to our 10. Shots on target, they had 3, we had 1. And they had about 5,000 corners. We had 2 corners. What do you make of that, Sam?
To be honest, I don't really care. The stat that matters to me is the scoreline. I think I said I'm not going to lie to you. I said in the bloody preview, I would like a 3-0 win. But I clearly said, as long as we win this game, this is the biggest game that we've had this season. Not because it's the hardest team. Of course it's not. It's Crystal Palace. But when you're 2 points clear and you're expected to win, you go away from home with a team that's got a good record at their own ground. Forget about our record against them. They've got a good record at home. They've got a manager in Roy Hodgson. They just come off a 4-0 loss. They're going to be digging in. They're going to do exactly what they did. And we were comfortable, regardless of whether they had their shots on time. I don't care. We look comfortable. We got 2 goals up. We shouldn't. I'm more disappointed than just conceding that last goal in the 93rd minute of, added time, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But them stats, you can put them up all day. You can put up that they had 1,000 shots. I don't give a effing toss. We won 2-1 and we should have been 2-0. Possibly could have been more. Tottenham are 5 points clear. I'm done, man.
Fine. I want to ask you then. Sean, what did you make of them stats? I know, obviously, going into the game, everyone was expecting us to score. And I think even Carragher and Neville and everybody else was, a little bit like the fact that we didn't have a shot on goal in the first half, which is first time under Postecoglou we've not had a shot in a half. And then 1 on target, which we scored from. Are you like Sam? Are you not bothered?
Sam and I sing from the same hymn sheet. The only stat that counts is the goals for and the goals against.
Yeah.
We took the 3 points. We can put our feet up for a couple of days.
That's what I'm saying. It's great.
And then go and then prepare for the next game a week on Monday.
Fine.
Eat all those extra days to recover injury. I want to find out what's wrong with Biss because I thought he was a shadow of himself.
We'll talk about that.
And how long is Udogie going to be out?
Yeah, fine. Pav, what did you make of anything? Are you with them too then? Are you just... Shall I just take that off the screen then?
Do you know what? They have a point. We've got the 3 points. Do you know what I'm saying? But after hearing you guys saying and also hearing other people saying about how we were playing the first half, that wasn't great, was it? And then obviously us getting the conceding in those last few minutes wasn't great. So it just goes to show, though, that we are still not there yet, and there is a lot of things that we need to improve on. But like you lot said, we've got the 3 points. What can we say now? We've only got to move forward. We've got the 3 points, 5 points clear. That's all that matters.
Fine. Darius, anything to add to that in terms of passes, shots, possession, or are you with the other three as well? Is my slides being made non-existent today?
I'm not going to discredit your work, Sid, because I know you put effort making those slides. So I will try and look at those stats. At the end of the day, I do agree with Sam and Sean, but I think, you know, for the amount of possession we had, we probably could have looked a little bit more threatening going forward. But I think that also is probably down to how Crystal Palace played. They looked like they compacted the middle a lot. So I'm pretty happy. Like I said, I can't complain when we've won the game. And I also think that, you know, when you actually watch the game, some of the football we played was very good. I think we're always going to play good football now under Ange. I think that's basically expected. So, yeah, it would be really, really nitpicking the performance. I genuinely don't think it was that bad of a performance as maybe some people on Twitter I see make it out to be. But again, you know, when the expectations, when you're unbeaten and you haven't even felt a loss yet this season, people are gonna, you know, you're going to find small things to get angry about. And it was nice to see the players come off the bench as well. The right subs were made, in my opinion. I think Basuma didn't play well because he knew if he got a yellow card, he'd be in a lot of trouble. So, yeah, I'm happy with everything, really, to be fair.
Fair enough.
You've got to look at the manager's reaction. The manager's reaction when he came off the pitch, he was smiling almost from ear to ear. And last week when you had that second half performance, he knows how tough this is. Roy Hodgson, he's about 237. It doesn't matter. He's got so much experience in the game. He knows what he's doing with a football team. He's been all over the world. He's been an international manager for a number of different countries. This is a tough place to come, regardless of our history against them. And when you need to win, Tottenham Hotspur in the past have not done that.
Yeah.
And had we played brilliantly and lost, we would have been on here like, but we didn't. It doesn't matter with, as I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm just giving by my feelings about my team at the moment and seeing what they're doing and some of the football, because they could have won that game 3-0. There's no doubt about it. They could have won that game 3-0. Yes, obviously Palace are going to have opportunities because they're at home and they had a stinker last week. You expect a reaction, and that's exactly what Roy Hodgson got out of his players in exactly the way we expected them to play. 3 points, man. 3 points, 5 points.
It's 5. Right. I know we're not going to be bothered. I don't think any of you lot care about this, but the shooting accuracy, we had 10%. Theirs was 23%. And the passing accuracy was 91% to Spurs, 61% to Crystal Palace. Pav, without mentioning any players, because I'm going to go through the team in a minute, and then one by one, I want your opinions on the players' performances. Overall, as a team performance, what did you make of it as a team performance?
Good. I mean, I can't really speak for the first half, but from what I've seen, I think it was good. We worked as a team. I've said this before. It's important for us to work together, and we clearly showed that, especially when we were seeing what I saw of the second half. We were working collectively. We were more towards our end, and then obviously Son got that goal as well. It was just it is still shaky. I'm not going to say it's not, but we did work together, and that's the most important thing. There was no selfishness there. You could tell there was communication there, and that's what we need. That is what we need, and that's what's getting us these points. And it's so important, and that's what Ange has done. He's come into this club and he's changed it from a one-man team to an actual team togetherness. And you can see it clearly, and you could see it today, and you could see it in previous games that we played. And that's why we're getting the points.
Fine. Darius, overall performance team-wise, we'll discuss the players in a second.
I think the team performance, it looks good at the moment to me, guys. What I'm seeing in the first 10 games is like the same thing, which, you know, in some ways can be bad, but for us, I think it's good because We clearly seem to have a way of playing. Players know what they're doing and they know their role. And I just think with time, we're just going to get better and better and better. I think that only is going to help. I think substitutions, I would like to have stronger players come off the bench. But when I look at, who came off the bench today, Gill, Bentancur, Brennan Johnson, who impacted the goal, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So, yeah, I would personally like to improve in January. But, it has to be the right players, and they have to be players that are going to impact this team, because right now it's hard. It's going to be hard. I think there's only one position on that pitch, which is left wing, which is really up for contention in terms of who could get a starting place. Apart from that, everybody else is pretty much locked down their starting positions. So, yeah, I think as long as the players on the skirts of the 11 know that they're contributing to the team, which I think they are. Hojbjerg came on and was solid. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. But if we can improve and we can upgrade, I would definitely like to see that, because we're in a position now where we were like this before with Mourinho, and I know it's very, very different to that, but we didn't take advantage of a position that we were in. So let's take advantage. It's not a case of, panic buying. We can bring business forward. We can do things in January that could, potentially set us up to have a real crazy season, because it's already crazy, but it could get even crazier. It could really be a mental season for us.
Cool. Sean, overall performance, and then we'll go straight into player performance.
A very professional performance. I mean, you go away on with a team that have got, have had their asses handed to them previous week, and who obviously were expecting a reaction. They made it difficult for us, but there is massive room for improvement. Room for improvement.
Yeah, I agree. I think, and David said it in the section, and we said this yesterday as well, going to Palace, although we were all confident, like 3-0, 4-0, going to Palace and digging out a result, it's not easy, especially after they got beat 4-0 last week against Newcastle. And I think Hughes said it at the beginning when they interviewed him, and he said, we've got something to prove. We got battered last week. We're at home today. We've got to make up for that and put in a performance. And like you've said, Sam and Sean, going to Palace, their fans, they didn't stop, did they? For once, me personally, up until we scored, I think Spurs fans were relatively quiet. Normally, we're bang on, on point. But I think today they were a little bit quiet. But small ground, compact ground, their fans were at it. And we done well. As a team performance, I think we've done well. We'll dissect the players now, because I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me or not, but I think there's one or two performances today. Well, one in particular, I think that wasn't good. Right. Vicario, guys, and ladies, what did we think of this guy's performance again? And I'll start with you, Sean, because obviously you've been backing him from day one when everybody else was slagging him off after a couple of games. What did you make of him today?
Hashtag my keeper. I keep telling you this. Hashtag my keeper. 2 brilliant saves early on, which kept us in the game which we gave away needless chances to them. But he made 2 great saves, and then from then on he was imperious. He came to collect corners. He punched when he had to. And again, he could do nothing about the goal. Yeah. That was a defensive lapse. So and I like the fact that he was winding up the Palace fans by putting his studs on the ball. It was great. I loved it. Loved those little triangles. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, Christian. Oh, you give it back to me. All right, fair enough. Do you want it back again? Yeah. Oh, I'll have it again. Oh, yeah. Christian, go on. Let's make it 3. Come on. Yeah, let's keep going. How many times did they do it? 6 times. And they were going mad. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then they said, just for a change, I'll give it to Mickey van der Ven. Fantastic. What a keeper. Who wants Raya? Who still wants Raya out there in Tottenham lands? Who still wants Raya? Hey?
Did you read the thing today about him as well? About the bit of, I don't know, have you read it about, there was a certain player that we went for, but he wanted to leave the club more than come to Spurs kind of thing. So
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam John, have you heard about that yet?
I saw the articles in the Guardian. Yeah, I recommend
Yeah,
everyone
right.
read it. Yeah.
So, as with the club, I've going with the Spurs legacy numbers. So, Vicario number 876. You might see it on all the players now because I've upgraded it. Right. The rest of you guys and ladies, can we please talk about our defense today? Obviously, Udogie was injured. Or if you're Sky Sports or Doggy, because they don't know who he is, Ben Davies came in as a replacement. We all thought it was going to be Emerson Royal. We actually thought Udogie was going to play. Apart from you, okay, right. So, starting with you, Darius, what did you make of the back? We've done the keeper. If you want to talk about the keeper, you can do. What did you make about the back four?
I think we've mentioned everything we can mention about Vicario. What a keeper. Hashtag my keeper, as Sean says.
Yeah.
Davis, don't even need to talk about him. Fortunately, Davis doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to contribute to this team. And I'm not, getting on to Davis for that. The system has changed, but it's not looking. I personally would rather play Emerson in that left back role. As crazy as that sounds, I don't think Davis did anything for me. Really and truly. Van de Ven, wow. I mean, have we struck gold? I think you could probably say we've struck diamond, or if there's even better than whatever's the best material in the world, that's what we struck. We've struck oil, we struck everything with Van de Ven because, oh my Lord, what a centre back he is. We truly have now reincarnated Toby and Jan with these guys in a slightly different way. I think they don't necessarily have the long ball distribution like that Toby does, but my God, that speed that Van de Ven has to recover, he's frightening. And then Romero as well, again, amazing performance, I think. And Porro, defensively suspect, but I think Porro is enough of an influence going forward for me to, sometimes forgive him for the lapses in defense because he does well. He finds a lot of good passes. He contributes to those attacks a lot. A lot of the first and second passes in our passages of play, attacking play, starts from Porro. So, yeah, the defense was fine, I guess. I think the standout was definitely Mickey Van de Ven. He was my personal man of the match today. I think Mickey Van de Ven was unreal, absolutely unreal.
Pav, what did you make of the 5? Do you know what? 5 points clear, fantastic 5, famous 5. It's all 5s, isn't it, today? What did you make of the 5?
Well, Vicario, what a man. He can't let us down, to be honest. So I think that's all I need to say for him. Ben Davis, I can't really speak about him because I didn't see him in action because I didn't watch the first half. But I'm not surprised if he had a bad performance. I just don't think he's right for the club anyway. I think he doesn't fit into Ange's system. But in terms of Van de Ven, like David said here, 10.5. Yep, 100%. I agree. He was outstanding from what I saw today. And he's an excellent signing that we've got. We're just very, very lucky to have him. And he has been throughout the games that he's played so far. So I'm very, very happy with his performance. And then Romero as well. Excellent. Defending, never lets us down. You know what? He's improved as well. It's so nice to see that, not the constant yellow cards and, making all these silly mistakes. He's grown from that, which is nice to see. And then you've got Porro. I can't believe Porro was the goal. He was at fault with that, but I'm not gonna say anything because it's one mistake and you've got to move on. We got the 3 points, so yeah.
You're fine. Sam, talk to me, my friend.
I kind of started to score on the Ben Davies thing. I think he can actually play the football in terms of what he needs to do as an inside kind of fullback, but he lacks physicality. The 2 times the ball went over that, he got bumped by Ayew. Ayew's not the biggest player in the world, and he got bumped by him physically for him to get behind. That didn't happen so much with Royal. Now, Royal has different qualities in terms of his abilities, but certainly if you're going to look for a team which was physical, which Palace were today, they were very physical, you have to be able to stand up to that. So I thought we dealt with that second half much better. And eventually they would have to tire. So that back 4, back 5, it does slightly drop off when you've got someone on that left side other than the dodginess. What I'm saying about one of those cogs coming out. If we lose Van der Ven, which when you said that thing about what you said on the preview show, oh, they're never going to get injured. And I saw Van der Ven get clapped on his knee. I was like,
yeah, but
Sam, I did that.
Yeah, but Sam, that, do you know what? That I blame down to the ref, because how many kicks are they allowed to have?
If we're going to come on to that, we'll come on to that. But let me just talk about that situation. Yeah. You can clearly see if this player, in terms of Van der Ven, is out of the team, that will bring the whole of this way of playing out of the window, because his powers of recovery in terms of his pace. He got Ben Davies out of trouble a couple of times, because if you watch as well, the block that he made when he came across, there was a block that he made when he used the left centre back, and I was saying he came across and he was in the right centre back position to make it. I can't remember, it was late in the game, and it's definitely in the second half.
Went out for the corner, didn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This 22 years, and he's like coming on and he was like doing the interview with, like, what's her name? Kelly Douglas or whatever she calls herself. Kelly Cates. And just speaking like he's like about 29, just a seasoned professional.
Yeah.
That's what you want to see. The mentality that this player's got, if he can stay and keep this, he's gonna be. I'm worried about how we're gonna keep him. And I said to Darius Freekay, the way we have to keep this player is we have to win things, because that he could play for any. And I'm not lying when I say this. He could play for any club because of his attributes that we've got. He's the sky's the limit for him. The others, Porro, I think he does well, and Romero, because he's alongside that player, you can see that he again is just blossoming in terms of that. You know, you got to have them, the yin and yang, in terms of that centre-back partnership. Romero's got that aggressive, but he's also got a bit of control about him now as well. But Van der Ven, 11 out of 10.
Sean, you want to talk about the back 4?
Yeah, well, I've just been on SofaScore, and your man Royale lost the ball 6 times, whereas Davis only lost the ball 3 times. So the eye doesn't deceive. The guy did okay, given that he was injured on Sunday, and came in. He looks far more competent on the left-hand side of our defence than Royale. Royale is a fish out of water. If we persist with Royale at left, we're going to concede goals. We're going to concede goals. He just cannot do it. Got no left foot at all. And I just don't get why you can't see it. He was dreadful. Dreadful.
I don't think he was dreadful. I think he done bits. Like, I think what Sam said first half.
Look, Ben Davies did bits in the first half, but you're not prepared to accept that.
No, we're not saying that. What my perception is, every time Jordan Ayew's not the biggest of players, and Sam, you said it. Every time there was an aerial duel, he lost that by 1.5 miles. And then after that,
he's built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah, but still,
Jordan Ayew, not Jordan Ayew. Jordan Ayew is not
put a bit of effort in. I mean, then when Richarlison bailed him out, Richarlison won the ball every single time, but Davies was coming in behind him, stuck in no man's land, and he's seeing Richarlison's going in for the header to clear the ball or attack the ball. Why are you coming in behind him? Because as soon as Richarlison's won the ball, that space behind Davies was there.
Richarlison won the ball by heading it backwards.
No, but he won the ball a good few times, because every time Johnston kicked it towards that.
I'm just not having the shade being thrown at Davis.
I just think the physicality. I think you're right in terms of the football. He's much more balanced. It's much more balanced from that sense. But when a team like Palace is playing a certain way and they're playing that ball into the channels, and you miss that first header and you get beat twice in that physicality, that encourages everything. And they were playing down that side. When Udogie's there, it doesn't happen in the game, and he's also good going forward. But Real, the physicality side, it works for him. Yeah, we're going to have to accept that he gives the ball away. He's not the best footballer, but you can accept that if the job for a defender is to stop goals. Ultimately, that's what they're there to do. They're stopping attack, stopping the progression of the football, and ultimately stopping them scoring. I fear more that we'll concede more goals with Ben Davies at left back than we would do with Royal at left back. But Udogie is the best left back in the effing world, so he's got to be playing for us, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. So my question, right? I'm going to just ask a curveball. I'm going to ask all of you. Just keep it simple, and then we move on to the midfield. Pav, my question is then, we've been saying about buying, we need a striker, we need a midfielder, we need a defender, what's more important, etc., right? So my question is then, centre-back, we know we need cover. Do we now need a cover for the left-back as well? Because we've seen, if Udogie gets injured, right, which he's not gonna, are we gonna struggle? Do we now need to go in January and add a left-back as a priority, as well as a centre-back, maybe a striker? Or do we just go with Emerson and Ben Davies as backups?
No, I think I think we are going to have to look at getting a left back in January. Only because I personally think that, I know that some of you are going to disagree with this, but I just personally don't prefer having Ben Davies as a backup. I think we are going to need to look at options, especially if injuries are involved. I think obviously centre back is a priority. I wouldn't say, I personally wouldn't say that a striker is a priority. If I'm being honest, I think centre back and left back, but I'm only saying it because of injuries and as a backup, because I don't prefer Davies as a backup.
Okay, fair enough. Darius?
I've always said left back's an issue that we need to sort out, because I don't really include Sessegnon in the squad anymore.
Yeah.
However, if we lost Van der Ven, it would be a lot harder for me to see progression or see us maintain our form, as opposed to if we lost Udogie for maybe a little bit longer. However, he is just as important, I do think. So would I rather a centre-back or a left-back? I don't know. I personally wouldn't go for a forward in the summer unless it was like a Ollie Watkins or an Ivan Toney. I think if we're going to upgrade anywhere, and for me personally as well, Son is our starting striker now. I would rather spend the money at left wing. I think Johnson can play there, but again, he's probably better off the right. So yeah, I would look to spend the money on left wing, because I don't think Richarlison's really doing anything. I don't think, we'll get onto it when we get onto the forwards, but yeah, left back, centre back, take a pick really. I think it's based on opportunity. I don't really think we should be signing players just for the sake of it. If there's a player who's out there who's going to definitely contribute or improve our squad, go get them. But like, for example, Hotspur, there's no point in rushing to sell Hotspur. He's an adequate replacement for Bissouma at the moment, it seems like.
Yeah, you know what it is as well, is you've got a manager in Postecoglou. So now we've got to trust the process, because now we're 10 unbeaten, right? He knows. And if he's saying he's one of the best trainers, he knows the players. He's been with them long enough now to see what their ability is. Can he trust them to come in? And he trusts Ben Davies, because he could have, like we said yesterday, Sam, he might have gone Van der Ven at left back or whatever because of his pace and whatever. But no, he sees Ben Davies as a replacement if Udogie gets injured. Same as if Bissouma gets injured, he sees Højbjerg as a replacement. So in that terms, I think we've got to trust the process. We've got to trust the manager. If he thinks Ben Davies is good enough to be a squad player and use him as and when he needs to, I think he will. Thoughts on that, Sam, Sean?
Again, I think a little bit harsh on Ben Davies in his overall footballing sense. I've got a problem with him physicality-wise. That's what I've said to you. But Udogie, the way we play, because of the way we play with the fullbacks inside, we're always going to be in space. The opposition is always going to have space in the channels. Hence the reason why Van der Ven is there, because he can cover that space because of his pace. So regardless of who you play there, as long as we can maintain our football, you're always going to have that risk. That's our risk-reward scheme in terms of playing with that system. If Van der Ven doesn't play there and you play Dyer there, you don't have that option of being able to play so high. So it changes your whole dynamic of your football. So what we need is a centre-back that can play, that's got pace. I don't know what Ashley Phillips is like, but I also know that Eric Dyer is not that player. So if at the moment we haven't seen Ashley Phillips play and he's an unknown quantity, regardless of whether he comes in and does a Van der Ven, we don't know. We need somebody that can fill that role to a certain degree with the pace and being able to play the football. No centre-back at the moment that we know of, other than Van der Ven in that left side, can do that. Ben Davies cannot play there and play that system. No chance in hell. No chance in hell. Ashley Phillips, I don't know. Eric Dyer, not a chance in my lifetime or in any lifetime on any universe that I may exist on will Eric Dyer be able to play in that position and do what Van der Ven does. So for me, it's critical that we get a centre back. Critical.
Sean?
I've nothing more to add.
Fine. Fine. Do you know what? I think, right? I think, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Spurs fan. I think we have the two best centre backs in the Prem.
They're brilliant.
By
brilliant.
far. I mean, Carragher today as well. He was like, the only thing that was missing today from Carragher and Neville was every time Van der
you
Ven.
know, that's what I'm saying. They don't want to admit it, but you can see in Gary Neville, he knows how good this player is. Carragher's already said, he's seen it now. But Carragher's, it's almost like Neville doesn't really want to, it's like something's holding. He's 22 years old. We go on about, like, what's his name at Liverpool when he came in from, but he wasn't 22. Van Dijk, he wasn't 22. He was seasoned. This guy's coming. It's like, at 22, if someone just sent me to another country, regardless, I mean, the player for one of the biggest, we are one of the biggest clubs in this country. Fan base, all the rest of it. And you almost, I don't know who's come with him, but he's almost like thrown in the first game, the first day. Come on, man.
So, my question to all of you, and you can take it in turns to answer, right? Now we're talking. In the summer, even last summer and January, we was going mental for a centre-back. We wanted Bastoni, we wanted Tapsoba, we wanted him. We were crying, we were slagging off the manager, we were slagging off the chairman. Are you all now very happy that we waited, played the patient game, and got Van der Ven? Was he? I don't think he was. He wasn't my number one choice, right? Because some people were like, "Who? He's young, blah blah blah." Now, who are we gonna say thank you very much to for hounding him out, picking him, and going and buying him? Obviously, we got to say Daniel Levy, well done. But
Postecoglou.
Yeah?
Postecoglou gets a lot of that praise because I'm telling you now, if he didn't give him the reassurance of getting that first team football, he wouldn't be here. He rejected Liverpool. Or let's say he rejected Liverpool, but Liverpool said he wasn't ready to play first team football or wasn't ready to be a Premier League centre-back. Postecoglou told him, you're going to start. You're good enough to start. And that sort of reassurance from your manager, I bet gave that kid a world of confidence to just carry on doing what he's doing. He also mentioned things about, I think it was in probably the second or third game interview, he sort of mentioned things about Postecoglou saying you can make mistakes because no one's going to get onto you for making mistakes. To hear that as a young centre-back, that's why he plays the way he plays, because he knows if he does make a mistake, he isn't going to get hounded. He's not going to get dropped. So I think the manager, as much as the scouting team deserves the credit for finding him, I think the manager deserves a lot of credit for convincing him that he's going to be an important part and for actually having the balls to start a 22-year-old centre-back who's come from Germany in the Premier League. I mean, I don't know many managers who are going to do that. So, yeah, credit to Postecoglou, I say.
Pav?
I think Darius hit it on the head, to be honest. I think we've got to give credit to Postecoglou. He's got it right. It just goes to show that we've got to be patient and we've got to have faith in the manager as to the signings that's being made. And that's what we've got to do in January and going forward in the summer. We've got to have faith in Postecoglou as to what signings he's going to know And like Darius said, Van de Ven's now got that confidence because of Ange. Ange has that faith, and he has the faith in the rest of the players as well. And going forward, I feel like with whatever signings he's going to make, we've just got to be patient and, you know, not hold our heads high and, you know, think, oh no, you know, we should get this player. Just keep a lookout for what he's got. He's clearly got a plan, and we've got to keep to that, and we've got to have faith. And he's done that with Van de Ven. He's done that with the other players that we've got, Maddison as well. And you can clearly tell that he's got a plan, and that's what he's done. And it's a wicked signing. And I was one of them. That was like, who is this? He was not my first choice. I didn't even know who he was, but he's proven us that he works so well. We're in the space of 2 months. He's come in, and that's it. He's done so well. And, you know, well done to Ange for getting him in.
Yeah. Sean?
What's the question again?
The Van de Ven question. Who are we giving the full well done upload credit to for getting?
Well, the credit, obviously, from what I've read, and I don't disbelieve it, it's obviously down to Postecoglou. Yeah. He's done Zoom interviews with these players. He did a Zoom interview with Vicario. Yeah. He talked about how he was chatting to his parents in the background, and there was the Ukrainian family that they've taken in were there as well. Maddison has said, when he spoke to him, he said, if you come or you don't come, you know, and he did the same with Van de Ven. So it's down to Postecoglou, and I hope that process continues. I hope that anyone that we're looking at in January, they go through Postecoglou's vetting, because he judges a player's character as much as their ability, and he doesn't want any bad characters in that dressing room. Yeah. He rules with an iron fist. Hence, he felt more than capable to give them a rollicking on Monday night after the Fulham game.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm reading quotes from his press conference, and he says, I like the way we handled tonight. It's a very difficult venue. They're very well drilled, and going into it, we knew it wouldn't be an open game. I like the way the boys handled it. They were patient and consistently tried to find the gaps. Then real composure at the end of the game. It was a different challenge, and I like the way we went about it. And on us as the supporters, he says, what's important is we're giving our supporters joy and hope. That's what football clubs are there for.
Absolutely.
So all the credit goes to Postecoglou.
Absolutely. Sam, is he in the summer then? Was he in that hut? And I'm referring to that advert, yeah, for Foster's. Is he in that hut? G'day, mate. What's your problem? I've got some Fosters for you. And then they're ringing up saying, oh, and he's going, yeah, you want to come and play for me? No problem. All right. And then he has that talk, puts the phone down. We've signed him. What's happening? What is it with him? Why? How?
So he's a Victoria Bitter man. He's not a Foster's man.
Postecoglou plays with a system. His whole philosophy is based around the system in terms of spacing plays, and you have to have a certain profile to fit that system for him to ultimately play well. So you need, if you're playing high on the halfway line, you need someone who's going to have pace, but is also good on the ball, the blah blah blah, but can defend. So what I liked about what Postecoglou said in an interview, he said, yeah, when the system doesn't quite work, he's not changing how we play. He's not changing his philosophy. It then relies on the quality of the player to get through it. So that's what we've got now. When it doesn't quite work out, it's the quality of the player that makes the difference. The quality of the player that makes the difference in those 1v1 situations defensively is Van de Ven. So if you take away his pace, which is what's needed in this system, it doesn't quite work, because the ball over the top, you're more likely to get a race on, and sometimes that forward's going to win that race. More often than not, Van de Ven will win that race. Again, it goes for any position on the pitch. James Maddison position, you want him as your number 8s going forward to be, or 8/10s. You want them to be able to receive the ball, unlock defenses. But when it doesn't quite work, what does he do differently? So what James Maddison did today, again, was involved in both the goals, from the way he crossed that ball in, trying to find the area. But if you watch his first 2 touches, it was his quality that allowed him to then play the ball into Brennan Johnson, who got the ball into Son. That's why we're so fucking good. So that's why the drop-off between players cannot be so drastic from Van de Ven to an Eric Dyer, or from a James Maddison to currently a GLC, who we haven't seen play to that same sort of level. that's all we got to address. Make sure that we keep that quality high.
Right. We're going to discuss the midfield, and we're going to do the middle three and front three. Yeah. So 2 of you can do the middle three, and 2 of you can do the front three. So whoever wants to do what. But I'm going to start off with what I think. Well, performances. I think Saar done okay today. I think Basuma was not at the races at all today. He lost the ball too many times. I don't know, honestly. And I was saying he needs to be taken off because he could have ended up getting a stupid yellow card. Because
I don't think he should have started personally, because I think he was playing within himself because of the yellow.
Yeah,
I think so.
And I would have started with Højbjerg. I think he had a shocker. I think one of the worst performances he's had so far for Spurs. Maddison, for me, it was a very tight game for him. The pitch was quite compact. And obviously, Hodgson had him man-marked or whatever. And I think he tried to do what he could, and it just wasn't working. Every time he got the ball, they were after him. And Carragher said it at one point in the second half. When he did get the ball on the left, he went right, then he went back, then he went that. And he sort of done a Peter Beager, if anyone, some of you might know, might not. He kept coming in and then dragging it back to go back left, then back in, and then he's tried to cross it. And once or twice he sort of fingered it, but I think the pitch was a little bit too small for him. And like we've all said, it was one of them games where I don't think we was going to see the full Maddison today, because they were going to limit the way he played. But overall, I think they done all right. And I loved it as well when they scored and they went to the touchline and Maddison's arguing the toss with the 4th official about the handball. Which one of you two want to take the midfielders then? One of you start.
I'll give Saar his flat. I don't think there's much to say on the midfield. I think you're spot on about Basuma. He had a yellow card. Can't really do much. Oh wait, he was on, suspension with his yellow cards. Can't really do much about that. Maddison was Maddison. I think he could have done better this game. I think he wasn't at his best, but he still did enough, with the contribution to the first goal. Obviously with the contribution to the first goal and the contribution to Son's goal as well. He was always involved, so that's Maddison. And then Saar, I think Saar deserves the credit. I think Saar's probably the best midfielder on the pitch, in my opinion. He really, and that's holding Maddison to his high standards. I think obviously you probably would say Maddison was the best player, but I think Saar, for me, workhorse, was really good. Started that Son goal with a great switch across as well. Yeah. Always got energy. I think he was fantastic. So yeah, Saar. I think Dele Alli was the last player of his age, or the last youngest player to start 10 games in the Premier League. So he's doing something right to be starting the first 10 games. And Dele Alli at that level was starting all those games and contributing incredible amounts. So yeah, Saar's on the track to be a fantastic centre mid for us. And even with Bentancur back, I still think he needs to earn his spot into the team, because Saar shouldn't be just booted out.
What a problem that is to have, though.
What a problem!
Look what the players were like with Bentancur at the end. That's what, for me, told me everything about this player. He's still going to be held in high regard. He's obviously doing well in training, because you don't bring him on in earlier than expected and play him in a game where it didn't need to come on, because he didn't need to come on. I think we were in control of the game, but it was nice to see him come on, give him that. So now we can expect a lot more over the coming weeks, but don't expect too much for the Chelsea game, because I don't think he's going to be involved in that too much, unless, of course, things don't go according to plan. Depends on who's going to be available in their fitness.
Yes. Anybody else want to say anything on the 3? Or shall we move on to the strike force? Pav? Shall we move on?
No, I was going to say that Darius pretty much nailed it on the head.
That's funny.
So, Kulusevski.
Is that? Oh, by the way, question: is that what we're going to see start in the Chelsea game? We all agree, right?
Not Richarlison. I don't think Richarlison.
That midfield.
Oh, the midfield. Sorry.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. And I think Basuma's probably going to have Postecoglou will probably have a word with Basuma and say, "Mate, you're not going to be doing that next week. I tell you that now." You know what I mean? Right. Front 3 then, guys. Sean, anybody who wants to start off with Kulusevski and Richarlison?
This is probably one of Kulu's poorest games of the season. In fact, he hasn't been good since maybe Luton.
Yeah.
He wasn't particularly good against Well, he had spells against Fulham, but today I thought he didn't really. He didn't even provide an out ball, which is what we kind of needed from him in the second half to sort of try and quell their so it was a poor performance by him by his standards. I've been quite happy with him most of the season. We wouldn't have won the Sheffield United game without him. So for example, and he scored at Bournemouth. So he scored goals. So and he's yeah, all right, David. We know you got your little.
David, listen.
David, I think that's crazy that you'd want Johnson in for Kudu when Richarlison's literally not doing a thing on the left side.
You've got to get Richarlison out before you.
Richarlison first, surely, David. Surely,
definitely.
It's got to be. I agree.
Yeah, well, see, the trouble is David went too early. If you go up his early comments, he said, "If you can't go to Palace and win 3 or 4-0." Well, January. Our shitty team under Conte won 4-0 at Crystal Palace, David. So
here you go. He's given Richarlison a big fat 0. This guy ball control is like Bambino on ice.
His first touch is terrible.
Wrapped together. He needs replacing in January. You know what? Honestly, I personally think it's just not happening, and I think Postecoglou is realizing that as well now. And I think January, if somebody does come in for him abroad or somebody, I think
no chance. Sorry, Sid. Who's going to even pay close to 60 million? I think we're stuck with him for about 4 years. I'll be real.
He's not.
He ain't going for a while. He just have to accept bench. That's what I think he has to do.
He's a confidence player, and I think he could be more of an impact player because he's got something to prove when he comes on. I think he looks like a player that has got the weight of the world on his shoulders when he's not playing well. His first touch is bad. His second touch is a tackle. That's what the old saying they used to say when we had a bad first touch, because that's what it is. It bounces off him, and then he's having to recover. Sometimes I wonder whether he is quite Brazilian, but I don't know. I don't want to start going down the same route as I went down with a certain other Brazilian that we used to have that had a similar concrete touch. Sean knows who I'm talking about, but I don't think he's I don't know. I'm just concerned that he's not quite there, and I think it's confidence.
Pav?
I think with you lot saying about Richarlison, I've said this from day one. I just don't think he's the man. We can't keep giving him enough time. He just can't do it. He just isn't the man. 60 million we got him for, and he's doing what?
65.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And like you said, Sam, I reckon he would be an impact player. I reckon he would do better coming off the bench. So being on the bench and then coming on and doing a bit of whatever. But him starting in these games, he's just doing absolutely nothing. Can't control the ball, always losing it and doing absolutely jack. And then same for Kulu as well at the moment. He's not really doing anything. Today he had a poor game from what I've seen as well. He's not really having an impact, which is quite upsetting because we know how he's like at his best. And then Son, what can we say about Son? Son's just great at the moment. It's amazing to see how much he's changed since last season. So it's fantastic.
They have the best of games, I think. But what you've got to give his energy, his passion, because every time Johnson got the ball, he was running to close him down. Yeah, him and Maddison. So you've got to give him that. He didn't have the best of games. But when it matters the most, he's there in the right place at the right time. Forget Bruce Willis. This guy's in the right place at the right time. You know.
So this is what they said about Haaland as well. He's not having the best of games, but he's got 9 goals. Son's not having the best of games, but he's got 8 goals in 10 games. You know what I mean? I don't care if he's not having He done his job. Yeah, his job is to put the goal in the back of the net. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to go at you. I'm just saying when players don't always do what we want them to do because they're not playing at the highest level, all they need to do is that extra bit of quality. If you watch his run for the goal, he was right there. A lot of players don't get into the positions to be able to score that goal, let alone, it's a simple finish. you've got to be in that position to finish. He could have easily just been a yard back. It's not the same pass that gets him. He's in the right place at the right time. That's why for me, I think we might have another player of the month going on here. We might do. I don't know. Just saying.
Oh, do you know what? 3 in a row for both manager and player.
That would be something, couldn't it?
It would be, you know what? And especially after everyone wrote us off when we got rid of Kane, when Conte left, everything. I mean, I'm gonna say it, and my boy's been saying it for the last 3-4 weeks. He's 17, and he keeps telling me we're doing an invincible this season. He keeps going on about it. And this is, remember, this is the boy who said at who was it? Sheffield United, 10 minutes added time, we're going to win the game. We're going to do an Arsenal or win the game with 5 minutes, 2 goals in added time. It happened. And he's still going by us being invincibles. But you know what? Who knows? Sean, anything to add on the front three, or Sam?
Just that we there was a guy called Gary Lineker that played for us. He didn't do a lot out of the box either.
Exactly.
And just whenever it went into that box, he was alive and he scored goals for us. And that's all you want from a front man, and Son's the best of it at the moment. Yeah.
And to put a rein on Son getting the 3rd Manager of Player of the Month award, I think David has made a very good case here. It's got to be this guy, hasn't it? It has to be this guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think depending on what Villa do tomorrow or Sunday, whenever they play, I think that will determine who, in terms of player, because I think Ollie Watkins is close to being player of the month. He's been good. I've rated him, and obviously, what's his name? The Dracula-looking one at Villa used to be at Arsenal. What's his name again?
The Dracula.
Unai Emery. Unai Emery. Yeah, that's him.
Oh, Dracula.
So I can't remember his name.
You're on brand with the month and the time of month, so I guess I
can't remember his name, but I just know that dark hair. But he just good evening. That's all I could remember because he had that Dracula type appeal. Anyway, he could be the one that could win it.
Right. So we've all had our say on everything, right? I'm just going to quickly read through some of these ones. Dinosaur, Squeaky Bomb Time to full effect. Good evening, people. What else have we got here? Tom Lowry noticed a huge Udogi gap in the team tonight. Correct. Kevin Murray, Sam, our goalkeeper is brilliant. Always going to be a difficult game in the village. Gooners Pub, I'm standing proud. You go on, Kevin. You give it. Kevin Murray saying, how's it going, Sean? Top of the league. Jews nuts, just think we haven't got the squad Ange would like and not 100% clicking, but I'd take this right now. Awesome sauce. Bottle it and keep it because we've got to. More points than the Woolwich Invincibles at this stage from Dinosaur. Yeah, so there you go. And also, Jews nuts wants. We can talk about this. Talk about the after-game celebrations with the squad and fans. That was awesome. Do you know what? Every single game, and apparently it's Son and Maddison that were the ones that bought that, didn't they? Every single game, at the end of the game, they go into the crowd and they're lapping it. And even I saw a bit while I was doing this slides, Carragher was saying that let them enjoy that. The fans are absolutely loving it. Yeah. They're loving the football. They're loving the players. They let them give them what they want and let the players enjoy that. Pav, are you loving seeing that at the end of the game where they're all going in and to the fans and just applauding them and, you know what, getting that atmosphere back from the fans?
Of course I am. Do you know what? It's togetherness. It just
madness.
goes to show how much they love and appreciate us. And do you know what? It's so nice to see everyone coming together and, you know, the support, the love, and they appreciate it. You can tell that they appreciate us, and we're the heart of the club. Without us, there is no Spurs.
Yeah. Sam, Sean, Darius, anything to add about the fans and the together forever and never to part with the fans and the players?
I just say it must be great being an away fan. I'm so gutted I can't get away tickets anymore. When I used to go to away games, even when we got beat and all the rest of it, it was just great. But now you must be just loving it. Just love it because you're just comfortable. You know that your team's going to play well, and more often than not, you're going to win the game. So yeah, fans are great.
What did you say, Sam? Do you really like it? Is it wicked? You're what?
I even got that one.
What do you make of it, Sean? About at the end of the game and stuff. I know I was one of them. I used to slag Klopp off left, right, and centre for doing it, going to the crowd and giving it the fists and giving it all that and that. And I used to have banter with Liverpool fans, and they were like, "Listen, that's how it is. He's got the fans behind him. The fans love him. He lives the fans, so he's giving it back to them, show his appreciation." I now understand it now, so I'm happy with that. Sean, you happy with that?
Yeah, I have no worries at all. I mean, I saw Ange doing it at Celtic up here for 2 years, so it's part of the post-match thing, and it's all about building the camaraderie. I mean, Sam can probably speak from better experience about how you build that togetherness with the players. I mean, he's been. I've been reading some little bit more of the press conference. I didn't realise that at half time the players were dead animated, waiting to come in back onto the pitch. So it's all good. It's all good. He doesn't want anything other than for us to enjoy ourselves, and he enjoys it when we enjoy ourselves. And he wants us to play the football that Spurs fans have traditionally been used to. And that's what we're playing. Possession-based, quick passing football. Push and run, if you want to go back to the 1951 championship winning team. We've always been traditionally known for being a passing team. And, long may it continue on. I can't wait to get down for the game a week on Monday. Can't wait.
So I was just going to add to that. The toughest thing in just going by what you want to say, the toughest thing in football management, in my opinion, obviously as a lower level in terms of what I've done before, is keeping the players that are not playing happy, or at least keep not necessarily happy, but keeping them motivated such that they know what when they come into the game that they're gonna be, they're gonna give everything. So what he says, if you listen to what Post says in his interviews, he says we start with an 11, but we don't finish with the same 11, which shows the players, okay, because I'm not starting doesn't mean to say I'm not going to have an effect on the game. It's not to say I'm going to have a somehow a say in this game. And this is why it's important for the players in terms of the substitutions to be used at the right times. Yes, Ben Davies was taken off at halftime, but there was a reason, because it was the physicality. I don't think it was his football side. So I would imagine that Postecoglou, who's a good manager, would say to him, listen, this is the reason why I've done this. It's not because you were shit, but this is why I've done that. Now, whether or not he thought that inside he wasn't the greatest player in the world, his man management skills makes him still believe, yeah, okay, I know why. I'm going to try and improve that. And that's all you've got to do. You've got to get your players motivated to improve every single session. And even if they don't play, when they come on, they do what we need them to do. Brennan Johnson, there you go. What he did, created a goal for us, and we won 2-1.
Yeah. And
hey, but before we go on any further, well, how about this for a quote from Big Ange? We're playing for a fantastic football club. We get to do what we love, and the rest of it is about honouring that responsibility that's been bestowed upon us. For me, what is important is we are giving our supporters some joy, some belief, and some hope. That is what football clubs are there for. We need to keep feeding into that. That is #MyManager. Never any doubt.
Feel. Exactly. Because whether or not, and this is what I'm saying, everybody keeps saying, you're never going to win. But the hope of winning the title should keep us involved in this whole season, regardless of whether we lose the next game or not. We know that we're 5 points clear, so we're still going to be in and around that top. So when we come to the next game, we've got hope. When we go on a run, if you go on a bad run or you see bad performances back to back, that's when the manager's starting to. Now we're seeing how he gets the best out of the players. Now we're seeing what does he change the way? Does he go away from certain things? How does he tweak it? Who does he bring in? But right now, he must be thinking, God damn, this job's easy in the bloody Prem, innit?
You know what?
It's bloody easy.
Totally agree. So, 2-1 winners. We're top of the league. Back to where we belong at the moment. 5 points clear. As they said, the heat is on. And in the famous words of that group from Manchester, to all the other fans, especially them not down the road, don't look up in anger. I heard you say, yeah, don't look up in anger because you're going to see us there. Right, guys, what happens now then? We've got a week. Well, how many days have we got now? We've got 10 days. 10 days to recuperate, recover, energy back to battery low, fully recharge for the Chelsea game. What does Postecoglou do with these lot? Are we still going to go in business as normal, train, get ready, get everyone fit for that massive game v Chelsea on Monday? Am I right in saying that? Is that what's going to happen now?
I would be quick on this. Nothing changes in terms of how they're going to approach the game. The system's going to be the same. It's the same players have got the quality. There might be some tweaks in terms of personnel because I believe there's a couple of places maybe up for grabs, and there's certainly players that are pushing to at least have an impact on the game. But I've always said Chelsea game will take care of itself. Pochettino coming back to the lane Monday night, lights. I'm there. I know you're there. Sean, are you going to the game?
Of course, Sean's going.
So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be mad. No,
do you remember?
I'll let you have a ticket for that one. I'll let you have a ticket, but unfortunately, I can't let you have a ticket
what
for
did
Chelsea.
Sean say to you? He said, if you don't boo that man, he's gonna come
No,
for
I'm
you.
not booing him. No, I'm not gonna boo him. I'm not booing him. I told you I'm not booing him. But what I'm not gonna do is give him an easy
I'm
run.
saving my
But
anger
what?
for the preview.
I'm waiting for that night because I'm within swinging distance of Sam that night.
I'm not booing him, man. I'm not booing him. I'm not gonna give him a good time.
Indifference.
Nah, man. I just can't wait. That's the game. Oh, because we got the win today, it makes that game so much better to look forward to. That's what it's done. So win, lose, or draw. And I'm not saying we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
But win, lose, or draw. I just can't wait for that game now.
Yeah. Darius, going in now. Basically, we're gonna wrap it up. Final thoughts. But how does it feel to be 5 points clear on top of the league? And we just now relax for 10 days. How does it feel?
I feel great. You know what the best thing about it is? Whatever happens on the weekend, we're still top of the league. And that's why it feels so good. I can kick my feet up, toes out, shorts on, dressing gown on, cup of tea in my hand,
I can watch
chocolate
him
digestive,
and be like this.
and I can enjoy my weekend. And you know what? As much as people, enjoy watching Spurs for what it is because we're playing so well and because the football looks so good, I still want us to do something. I still want to win a trophy. If it comes a little bit early, if anyone complains at that, you're a weirdo, mate. So, yeah, why not dream? We've still got another 2. Well, we can still win 2 trophies mathematically. So let's just keep going. And I think we'll be in a position where we'll be pretty proud, or if not, I think we're going to be way ahead of schedule as it is anyway. So only positives at the moment, I guess.
Yeah, and I think Davey's got a fair comment here. I just hope it's not Poch who is responsible for our first defeat of the season.
Are you crazy?
Can you imagine?
Don't even want to get into that.
We shouldn't get sentimental about that. We should look at it as a game of football because, as we know in football, you can play brilliantly and lose, you can play awfully and win, and you could be somewhere in the middle. So we've got to see what the game's like. Things could happen. We don't know if something really gets sent off. It's so many ifs, buts, or maybes. But what they say is, sometimes it's the hope that kills. But they also say hopes and dreams. I'm going with that one. Hopes and fucking dreams, man. That's what it's...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sean?
Yeah. We'll be top at the end of this weekend. Obviously, the other teams will play before us before we play on Monday.
Yeah.
So we might not be top come that Monday night, and that's an incentive. In actual fact, it might be quite good if we are a point behind City, say, for example, because it gives the players that incentive to say we win tonight and we go back above them. So I'm just taking it one game at a time. Looking forward to my trip down to see the mighty Spurs.
Listen,
Can't wait.
Do you know what the funny thing
Up
is?
in the West Stand with the prawn cocktail brigade.
Absolutely. Listen, we was in August. They all said, "Don't worry, they've won the league in August. They'll be back to normal in September." We've gone to September. They've said, "Don't worry, they've won the league in September. They'll be back to normal in October." We're in October. We're top of the league. Now what they're saying? Well, there's 4 fixtures in April is where they're going to suffer. I'm like, you know what? Credit now where credit is due. Yeah.
No,
we've got some tough fixtures on the horizon.
I know we have.
We've got Villa, we've got Newcastle,
Man City as well.
Man City as well. So
Chelsea in there. But in all seriousness, though, people have been saying that, but you have to say now, because I watched Roy Hodgson's interview, and he kind of alluded to the way that he sees Tottenham playing is akin to playing Manchester City. That says everything about where we are 4 months after, 6 months after the end of the season, whenever it was, that we saw with that. I'm not even going to mention his name. The one that coaching players has got to be the objective for anybody that comes into any club. Can you make the players there better? That's your first objective. Not who can I bring in to kind of, dispel from I don't actually can coach. I just need Conte can't. He's never going to get a job back in the Prem. If I was him, I'd just take a break and go and just manage some other team in Saudi and just get paid, because I'm seeing I'm looking at him sideways now. Sideways.
Right, guys, thank you very much for joining on our victory, being top of the league. Thank you to everyone in the comment section. Please make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, PRTvSpurs and Paxton Road TV. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Darius. Enjoy the next 10 days. Spurs are top of the league. Top of the league. Yes, I say it again. Spurs are top of the league. Yeah. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy whatever you're going to do. But most importantly, have a great weekend. Did I just say we're top of the league?
More developed, more developed.